now. Okay, and so again, I am Erica, and I'm going to turn it over to our friend Stephen. He will introduce himself, to tell us how the webinar will go, and then we'll have plenty of time for questions and interaction as we go. So take it away, Stephen.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you so much. And thank you to the Round Rock Library for having me today and for having all of us in for this hour of TikTok for beginners. I'm really excited to be here with you, spending this Saturday. I saw the little myself in the little window at the top there. It kind of looks like the announcer of The Price is Right. You just like send it over to like, come on down. You're the next contestant on the, yeah. So with the headsets and the mic there. So yeah, we're going to talk TikTok and how fun this app is and how great it's been for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. First, before I get into the 7 points of the basics for beginning in TikTok, I want to touch on the history a little bit of TikTok. So some of you may or may not know that TikTok actually started as Musically. It was called Musically. And for many people that have always thought of TikTok as being kind of a music app, lip sync, teenagers dancing and lip syncing to their favorite songs. That's kind of what it is truly started as, because it was actually called Musically, and that's kind of the marketing of it in the early days. Then at some point they rebranded and it became TikTok. And it was a good thing that they rebranded, because that's what allowed it to start to expand and kind of be thought of as so many other things. And it has become so many other things. I mean, there's lawyers on TikTok now that do content for legal advice. There's policemen on TikTok doing police videos. There's activists on there doing videos for their causes. So there's so many different things, and there's still the music, there's still the lip syncing, there's still all that fun stuff too. There's people doing movies, there's people doing television commentary. So much things. So the most watched TikTok video has changed since I started on TikTok. I know it was one creator, now it's somebody else that has the most watched TikTok video of all time. I'm sure that will change down the road, 6 months maybe, or even sooner. But Bella Porch right now, I think, has the record for the most watched TikTok video of all time. And she was in the military. I think she got out of the Marines, and then she started making TikTok videos. And she does basically just kind of like moving to a song, and then she does these crazy facial expressions, and she's so expressive. She does a little bit of choreography, but it's usually most of the dancing and choreography is with her face. Let me actually pull up. I'm sure some of you have seen her. The screenshot from this video has been in so many places. I'm gonna go ahead and share with you Bella Porch and the most watched TikTok video of all time. Okay, I'll get to this. So, and then we're gonna get into, I know some people want to know about library TikTok, so we're gonna get into that also and talk about library TikTok. Here's Bella Porch.
To the B, it's M 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 to the B, bang.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the most viewed TikTok video of all time, and it's called the B to the M, I believe. And so that was redone by so many different people in so many
Seriously? Okay, I feel like I'm 100 years old saying that's most watched.
Well, it's very short. There is kind of a what is going on there kind of experience with that video, which does make people, one of the things that pushes videos to becoming viral on TikTok is people rewatching the video. So short videos under 17 seconds, even under 12 seconds, and kind of a trying to figure out what's going on moment, which there is some of that going on there. I think even for younger audience, I think they're going to look at that, and still the first time they see that, they're going to be like, okay, what was going on there? We watched that again. So I think there's a little bit of that. And that's another reason why that video got pushed to, and it became a trend. That sound, that facial expression, everybody started imitating it and doing their own version of it. It's just quirky and weird. And And that's the thing with TikTok too. Some of the things you think they're going to be huge hits, people put so much time and thought and effort into a concept and then nothing. And I was warned that too when I first started. And then the things that sometimes you don't even expect go viral. Like there's no, sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. It's just, okay, now I'm going to show one of the people that did that followed that trend. People started doing their own versions of that video. Let me find it here. There is a, oh yeah, this guy did this is a reaction. Now this is another thing you can do on TikTok. Reactions are really big. This person did a reaction.
The B, it's M to 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 the B.
M to the beat, I'm element to the beat, beta vent to release, chicken leg to the feast. If you know I'm flowing on the end to the beat like bang.
Yeah. So, and there's one more, somebody, an animator, put together their own version with Shrek.
The B, it's M to 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 the B. Bang.
Yeah, so that there is a reaction video. You want to see a classic reaction video. And the guy did the rap with the Bella Porch song. I thought that was really good, how he synced his lyrics into her facial dance. So yeah, some short, quirky, weird things sometimes really take off on TikTok. And that was one example of something they did. Bella Porch went on to do an album. She's put out an album now. She's been on talk shows. She's been on all kinds of TV shows now. That one song, and then it was off and running. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I want to get into the basics of TikTok, the 7 basics. So I had my first brush with success in social media over 20 years ago on MySpace, kind of to age myself a little bit. And then almost 20 years later, I hit again on TikTok. So I have a kind of a thing where I wait like 20 years between my social media viral video experiences. But so later TikTok. So what happened is during the pandemic, I'm home. My wife's home. My son's home. We're all home. I'm daddy daycare. My wife's working from home. So during the day, there's taking care of my son. And then in the evening, more time to kind of think and observe and see things. And one day I saw Trevor Bell's School at TikTok on Instagram. It was an ad for Trevor Bell's School at TikTok. Trevor Bell is a sports model from New York that does TikTok videos, and he's done quite well on TikTok. He makes videos where he does cosplay. So he does Superman, The Flash. He's done Batman, I think. And he does really high quality with special effect TikTok videos, really good production value. He lives in New York, so he's got the backdrop of New York City. And he does these little mini superhero videos in various different superhero characters. And they're really creative. They're all really short. He uses sounds, he uses trends. He comes up with his own ideas. And he's, as a result, has been on shows with Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool. And he's done quite well with it. I took his class and then I started doing TikTok. And that's what the pandemic will do. Being at home, you have an opportunity to kind of do things that you probably would not normally do. I spent time on TikTok. Took me about 3 months to really figure it out. And I started out doing one thing, but after 3 months kind of evolved into it. And at the end of the week, after we hit the basics, I'm going to show you kind of my before and after, one of my early TikTok videos. And then one of the videos I had that hit 2.5 million views that went viral. Okay, so let me pull up my own notes and we'll get the first basics of TikTok. So I have 1 and 2, and they could be swapped out depending on your situation. Number 1 is research other TikTok accounts for inspiration. If you're interested in TikTok, but you're not sure what you want to do as far as content, the type of TikTok that you want to do, research other TikTok accounts for inspiration. See what, think about 5 things that you're really passionate about that are in your level of, you have a high level of interest for, whether it's cooking or whether it's dance or whether it's movies. Start to consume that content on TikTok And the reason why I say do that before you create your account is because once you create your account, I'm going to tell you the first thing to do after you create your account. And you're going to think it's going out and actually making your first TikTok video, but I'm going to surprise you. And I'm actually going to tell you to do something different. If you haven't started TikTok yet, if you're already on TikTok, that's fine too. Great. You've already got some of this out of the way. We can move on with you a little bit further down the list. So you want to research TikToks, figure out what kind of content you want to do. Is it parenting? Is it automobiles? I know some of you have an interest in library talk or library TikTok. That's great too. You can do that as well. We'll watch some of those videos as well. So you research to get inspiration. Then after you figure out, oh, I'm going to do the library TikTok. That's my passion is libraries. I work in libraries. I want to do library TikTok. So you create an account, find a username that's short and relevant. Probably use library in the, maybe you're creating an account. If you work at a library, maybe you're creating an account for your library. So the Round Rock Library could literally be RR Library, Library RR, something like that. But something short, doesn't need to be long. It's good to use library in the title if you're doing library TikTok because it's going to help it. Having that in the title is going to help it in the algorithm.
Yeah, so Stephen, just to jump in for a second, I was doing a little bit of research in TikTok, and I did start with libraries as a search term, and I found that yes, by and large, if you're looking at what your username should be, the bulk of them included library or lib, so LIB.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you could, if you wanted to go short, you could go with that. And just like you're looking for accounts for inspiration on the direction to start with your content, the actual type of content you're going to do, you can look at, other accounts like Eric was saying for inspiration on what you might call your handle, what you might call it. So then after you figured out what you're going to do, it's libraries, you create an account, you come up with a username, you can start your account manually just by giving them your email address and setting up a password and verifying it. I think you can also do it a little bit quicker and skip a few steps by using if you have an Apple account or a Google account. It's all just your privacy. Don't worry. No, just kidding. But yeah, you put that in there and then you get your account started fairly quickly. It's a mobile-based app. You can access it on a desktop computer, but at this moment, you really can't use all of the features that you can when you use it through the mobile app, because you can actually use the effects. You can produce your content within the app. You can film it, edit it. You can use the effects, the sounds when you're using the mobile app, everything within the mobile app. On the desktop, you can still post it if the content has already been produced and it's ready to go. You can access it and post it on your desktop. But to actually use the app for content making, then you need to have, be on the mobile part of it. And it works better on mobile too. It's made for mobile, so it works better on mobile. Now, once you start the account, this is where I teased this earlier. You would think I would say, go ahead and start shooting videos. But actually for the first week, 2 weeks, this is what you do. This will help your account push it early on in the algorithm to get it in front of more people once you make your first video. Start watching other people in the area of type the content that you're going to be doing. Start watching those videos. And actually, I will say this, probably only even the first, do this for 3 or 4 days, not even a full week. Watch the content that you plan on making. Watch other people. Start liking it. Start commenting on it. Start interacting with that content. Follow those people if you like their content. Follow those people. So once you start making your own video 3 or 4 days later, you're going to have kind of already an algorithm push that you wouldn't have had if you started from scratch on day one with 0 followers, 0 interactions. So that's a little sneaky trick there. A lot of people don't know that, but it's being taught in a lot of TikTok courses right now. So yeah, do that. Then you start making videos and you'll start out, just throw the net out far and try different things. You'll get inspiration from the other content you watch to get ideas. Now, I noticed we had some people asking about library TikTok specifically and some of the pre-questions. And by the way, I have some questions already that were given to me before the class. And if we don't answer those questions just throughout the class, I'm going to get to them at the end of the class for sure. And we'll definitely answer those as well. So library TikTok, there's some great library TikTok content out there. There's definitely an audience for it. I'm going to play a couple of the library TikTok videos that I have. And these are some great ideas for people that might want to do library TikTok to get some inspiration. Will I do that? Okay, go back into my folder and we're going to go to library TikTok to some of the better. Okay, this one was, oh, and I'm going to show you also, after I show a couple of library TikTok videos, I'm going to show you a way, once you start making content, you start turning out content, a way to really see what is trending on TikTok. So we'll get that too. Okay, here's one of the library videos. This was a recent trending.
Hey, what?
Yeah, and that's a popular sound. I actually did a video on that myself. I don't have it here on the folder, but I did a Batman, Michael Keaton, when it was announced Michael Keaton was coming back to do Batman again. I did it, they used that sound, and I had Batman in the back. I had Michael Keaton's Batman in the background, and I had him synced up where his lips moved to the sound. And then I got scared, and all of a sudden Batman pops up. So that was my version of that sound. Another library TikTok we had, we watched was, I had this one here. That's actually a photo, a still photo. And let me go down here, library TikTok. Oh yeah, this is a video here. This is library TikTok.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick of sight without a sense of feeling. This is how you remind me.
So there's that one there. Library TikTok. So you get a couple of there were that second one I know for sure is a recent trending TikTok video. So one of the questions we had, I'll go ahead and answer, was related to the can you really get your message? This was from Natalie. I don't know if she's here with us, but Natalie said, can you really get your message or content across to the viewers in a short window of 60 seconds max? That's a great question. Thank you for that question, Natalie. So here's the thing. Yes, you absolutely can. I had my doubts about it. It was one of the biggest challenges for me when I first started on TikTok was the same question. Can you really get your idea in a short form video? Not even 60 seconds, really. Starting out, you need to be making short videos to get viewers. Then you can expand and do longer videos. Now I think you can make even up to a 3-minute video on some people's accounts. I think they allow you to make 3-minute videos. There's a lot of 1-minute videos now on TikTok. But starting off, get in there, do the short videos, because you're gonna get more people to watch them. You're gonna get more followers. So where was I on this? Oh yeah. So the thing is, yes, you can. That last video we watched, notice how they used the text overlays. The text overlays can help fill in a lot of the gaps in your storytelling. Your sound that's actually in the video, if you pick out a sound that coordinates with your story, that could also help you push along your idea and your story. A lot of vloggers on TikTok, a lot of people that just stand in front of a green screen and they talk and comment on something, they talk very fast. They get their ideas out really quick. So that's also a part of it. But you can do, text overlays. You could have, and actually you would think flooding your screen with several text overlays would be kind of a messy, sloppy way to produce content. But actually in TikTok, and the way TikTok works, it can actually help you, because what happens is repeat watches, one person that repeat watches your video to see all those and read all those text overlays is helping push your content. Because the way TikTok works is a video, it's sent out to 1,000 people, say, or 100 people the first hour, sent out to 100 people. If those 100 people are watching the content repeatedly, that first 100 people is going to help get it sent out to the next 1,000 people the next hour. If those people repeat watching, the algorithm of TikTok loves that. They send it out to 10,000, 100,000, and that's how it gets pushed. So the text overlay is actually a great technique to help get repeat watches. So there's a couple things there. It does take practice. One more thing on short form videos, it made me a better editor as a content creator, because once you have to get your story in 15 seconds and figure out how to do that and still make it to where it's getting your point across, when you're working on long form video, you're so much better at getting rid of the extra stuff that you don't need. So you
And-
learn to get rid of the extra stuff.
And Stephen, I'll jump in too, because I know
Mhm.
you've been doing marketing for a very, very long time. And I sort of think of it as the elevator pitch, essentially, that we're often told,
Mhm.
you need to boil down your message into
Mhm.
something really short. And like you've been saying, we're not talking about creating one video and leaving it. This is you're building and building and building your content library, so you don't have to necessarily make one video count for all time.
Mhm. Yeah, no, and that's a good point too. Another thing is a lot of people do a series. So maybe your point is spread out over 5 videos. And that's another way to build your following, is you set up the teaser and say, if you want more on this story or more on this topic or more on my thoughts, follow for part 2. And that's a big thing people do on TikTok also, is to make it a series. I just did a video the other day. It actually didn't do that great, but it was a Thor versus Superman. And I was talking about, so I did the first video, I just talked about who's stronger, Thor or Superman. And the second video would have been about who's smarter, Thor or Superman, instead of trying to cover it all in one video. So yeah, so there's that. Also, one other point that was brought up about the library TikTok, there was a great video from Wit by Library, at Wit by Library account. They talked about James Patterson. Oh yeah, I've got that video too. I think I've got that. I'm pretty sure I've got that video. I'll pull that up. And then there's the what happens in the book drop is another really good video. I think I've got that one also as another video I have that's really, really brilliant library TikTok. So I'll try to play those two, go back and find those in a second, and we'll play those also for library TikTok. So back to my list. So yeah, we talked about research, creating an account, username, setting up your account. If you have selected a category, begin with week of consumption. Like I said, I don't even think a full week. I think 3 or 4 days. Interact with the content. That will help push your content early on in the algorithm. Also, this is for anything. Study the best in the category. Find out, that's where I started. When I started my account, I knew I wanted to associate it with my podcast and make it nerdy, DC, Marvel, Star Wars content. I do, other fun nostalgia, nerdy stuff. I made a Ghostbusters video last week that did pretty good. So things like that. I found who were the best in that category on TikTok early on. I found accounts like Soups. Soups is in Miami, Florida. He's got over 1 million followers. He's huge on TikTok. I watched his videos and not necessarily doing exact same thing he did, but I looked at what he was doing to get inspiration in terms of content, what was working for him that I might be able to kind of do a version of it and kind of make my own. And so, yeah, here's a Soups that is in my category. I'll show you Soups. Let's see, go back to shared screen for that. Soups in Miami, Florida. Find you here. Soups wore bright colored blue shirts. He has his logo on it. He's right here. This is a recent video.
We just got some pretty awesome Spider-Man news. So with tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home now being on sale, Amy Pascal from Sony announced some pretty exciting things. The first is that we're going to be getting a look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 very soon. She also said that there may be plans to bring Miles to the live-action big screen and have him team up with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Now here's the big one. Sony is getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland, and they plan to make it a new trilogy. And all of this will take place will still take place inside the MCU, so Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, there's Soups. So there's Soups. He does great content in that category. So I launched him for inspiration. What I learned from him was good lighting. He does talk fairly fast, although he's doing longer videos now. He used to move a lot in his videos. I got ideas from him a lot. I studied not just in my category, but just for short form video content, a lady by the name of Virginia Kerr. So these are good people to write down. Virginia Kerr, great for short form video. She was a news anchor in St. Louis for quite a while. She got out of news. She lives on a farm. Now she makes short form video content about how to make short form video content, like to make great short form video content. I learned so much from her about having energy in your videos, smiling, short, quick edits. And it's just so inspiring and motivating. And I learned so much from her. And when I had made my early videos and they weren't doing so well, and then I found her and started implementing some of the ideas combined with what I learned from watching content creators like Soups and then taking Trevor Bell's class, I was able to pull so much from each of these sources and be able to improve what I was doing. I'll show you not my first video, but one of my early videos I did. And I'll show you a more like my most watched video of all time that got 2.5 million views. And you can see the big difference in my transformation as far as what I was doing. I'll go ahead and share that. And then go back, and then we'll go back to our folder.
And Stephen, while you're pulling that up, let me know if I have this correct. When you're in the TikTok app, you can actually search under there's a category called top. So it can show you who are those. So you don't have to necessarily know names in advance. You can use the search features.
Yeah, and actually I've got a screen share of me. As great that you mentioned that, because I have a screen grab of me showing it over the shoulder, me doing that. Let me pull that up. I'll play that first. So for people that want to find out what's trending, and they can do it by keyword, and they can do it even by, they could filter it and do it by recent content or all time. And then I think there's a couple of different ways to filter it. I believe that's not this one. It is going to be no, that's not that one. Sorry, I thought I had that pretty close by, but okay, I may track it down before we're done and can show everybody. But yeah, there is a way to go in. It's at the bottom left corner. There's a discover section, and in the discover section, you click that, it will take you to a kind of a, not really a sort of a news feed. You go in the top bar, you put in the keyword of what you want to search content wise, and then you can go to the filter, which is at the top. Actually, I could probably show you. It's going to be over the top right corner, the filter, and then you can put specifics in what you want in your search. If you want something that's more recent in your search for your content. Okay, so let me back up. I'll go back to the video I made early on is not here, but I'll show you the video I had that was the most watched video of all time of all my videos. That was this one here. After I kind of tweaked my videos.
Do you remember when J.K. Simmons was getting yoked? And everybody thought he was just getting ready to be Commissioner Gordon. But that just doesn't make any sense because he doesn't use his muscles in Justice League. But now we know. Even while doing voiceover, J.K. is the ultimate method actor. Now we know he was preparing for the role of his lifetime.
So, okay. So what I did there, first of all, I found a hot topic that was trending. It was the Invincible show had just been out. It was a huge show. J.K. Simmons was trending because of the show. So what I did is I used one technique that I learned from Trevor Bell, and that's the cliffhanger, kind of the punchline at the end, or cliffhanger, which is like a, what did you just say? Literally, did you just say that? And that I put that at the end because then people have to go back and watch it. It's like, is it a parody? Is he serious? So people go back and they watch that. I put in a lot of stuff going on in the background. I build my green screen effects before I shoot the video, and then I add it in while I'm shooting. And I put a lot of like colorful, eye-catching things that will grab people's attention. I learned one of the things that I learned from Virginia Kerr was doing multiple angles and how that makes your videos more interesting. That older video, if I had been able to find it in my folder, had me doing something that was very much like a YouTube video where I'm sitting at a desk. The lighting was not as good. It was a little bit more like the room was dimmer. The lighting was not as good. and I didn't use the multi-angle technique, where the multi-angle is where you do one close up, one wide shot, something in close, something in a little further, and you continually switch the shots to keep it more interesting and keep people engaged with the edits. Virginia taught me that. I learned that from her, her techniques of doing the multiple angles. So all I did is then I was like, how could I put my own spin on it? And I started to do even more extreme versions of the multiple angles. Like I would get literally in the like right in front of the camera, like what was this close to my face, and started doing these crazy, like I would move in and out and just sort of putting my own spin on it. And a lot of people would comment on it, and some people thought it was hilarious. Some people were like, you know, you're too close to the camera, but it did get people, you know, to watch the video. So I kept doing it. So yeah, fine. You can go in. It's really easy to do a search for trending videos in the category, and then go and watch them. And you can find out who is making the best videos in a certain category, or who's making the best videos, period. Next point on the list, going down the list, study the best in the category, start shooting videos. Just start shooting videos. After you've done this, start shooting videos. Make your first video short. Because I'm most likely, if you make a 1 minute video and you start making 1 minute videos, you're not going to get very many. The algorithm is not going to push you. You're not going to get very many people to watch them. It's fine if that's really what you want to do, but I would say start making the short videos. Use the text overlays. Do like we were talking about. If you need to shoot it and edit it outside the app, I have a great app for everybody. It's called InShot. InShot has a free version. It's a mobile app that you can edit videos. You can make slideshows. You can do all kinds of things with it. It has chroma key. You can add stickers onto your video, but you can do your editing in there. You can add photos overlaid on your video. You can add text overlay. It's got all kinds of different fonts, colors. You can get in there and just play with the InShot app. It has a free version. There is a paid version of it too. That costs a few dollars a month, that will give you some more features. I think the thumbnail or the little watermark is on the free version. So yes, start shooting 15-second videos. If you have to shoot and edit, but work on it. Try the series, do part 1, part 2 if you need to get your ideas in the video. And then also that what I was telling you, a really good trick, a lot of people know this as content creators, is to have a cliffhanger at the end, or something that is kind of an exclamation point of like, what just happened at the end? What just happened there? And then people were going to go back and watch it to see if they were there, what they saw there. I put a lot of Easter eggs in my videos too. I started doing a thing where I would put, if I'm talking about an actor, I would put them in the background, and then I would change their face. I would flip it, and people would be like, did they just flip the face? Like, is that so-and-so? And then all of a sudden it was so-and-so. So I started putting little Easter eggs in the background. That's just my technique. It's something I do. Try to make all different types to figure out what your style is. So do green screen, do trends, do the captions, do the text overlays, do the music, find your style. So we saw, even in those library videos, there were a couple of different versions of the library videos of what people were doing. If you're not comfortable talking on camera, if you're not comfortable being on camera, you don't have to be on camera to be a viral TikTok star. Some of the biggest creators on social media are never on camera. You can make videos with animations. You can make great edits of video footage that illustrates what you're talking about, and then you can narrate it. You could have a robot narrate it. If it's interesting content and it's a good edit, it's going to find an audience. If you are passionate about the topic, it's going to find an audience. I guarantee it. I think we got a couple other library videos, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those up right now. Share screen. Go back. And we'll go. And by the way, I don't think that J.K. Simmons got yoked to voice a character. That was, me kind of just, doing a silly kind of, I was goofing. Okay, let me go and find a library. This one, I think.
It's the one that says everything. It's just scroll down just slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
there it is. Okay, that's one of the videos we had. Let's watch that.
The longer I work in the library, the more I come to realize that James Patterson has written everything. Everything? Okay, get this, right? You're in the adult fiction section, shelving books that start with authors who start with P, right? Yeah? As one does. And there he is, with his 6 trillion books, James Patterson, where you expect him to be, right? Yes. Okay, but then you push that cart over into the teen fiction section, and you know who's there? In the P's? James Patterson? James Patterson! I mean, that's not too... And then you take your books to the children's section. Oh. And he's got Jimmy Patterson. Jimmy Patterson! Or James Patterson presents. Listen, I've figured it out. There are no other authors. Anybody who says they're an author is just James Patterson in a trench coat trying to hide his identity.
That's great. So that's a good example of a video someone made where they did not have to talk on camera. It's not that that creator maybe is uncomfortable talking on camera, but if they were, they would have figured out a great way is you could have do a narration, and then you can perform or do your story, act out your story as they were doing, but they didn't have to get in front of a camera. Some people, it's awkward to get in front of a camera and talk. So you don't have to do that. That's a great example of a way someone made a terrific video and they didn't have to get in front of a camera and talk to do it. So that was really good. I think, did we show this one? Let me see.
Yeah, that's the singing one.
Yeah, that's the singing one. We can see that. Okay, I thought there was one more. I'm gonna show you another video. This is another great example, one where a person didn't talk on it. It's about iPhone. It's a tech content video, tech-oriented content video about new advancements in iPhone. But it's another example of a video that had a large audience that they didn't have to get in front of the camera and talk to make it.
Here's another iPhone hack you probably didn't know about. Coming soon in iOS 15, you'll actually be able to drag images and text across apps. So if you're trying to send screenshots of a Quizlet to someone, you can just drag the screenshot from the Photos app right into the message.
Yeah, it's short, it's quick, and it's valuable information for people that are interested in iPhones. So that's a great little quick little video. All right, so there. And the next, see if we were moving down the list now on our next topic. Yeah, so start shooting videos. If you're not comfortable posting your videos, you can start making them. And just to get comfortable with making the videos, edit the videos, then put them in a folder. And then when you're ready, you can start posting them. And again, like I said, test various styles out. The most important, number 7, always have fun. Any content creating you're doing, have fun. It's just like with art. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Same thing with content creation. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. You could possibly fail miserably at it for a while. I failed miserably at it for at least 3 months before I started to find a little bit of but I was having a blast failing miserably. I was making videos, not having any idea what I was doing on TikTok, but I had a blast for the 3 months that I was failing miserably. And then as I started to kind of figure things out, I'll build an audience, still having a blast. But if you just have fun, that's the key thing. And realize, okay, so if this is something you want to do is content creation. Remember the name Virginia Kerr. You could write that down.
I posted a link to her as well in the chat.
Oh, yeah, awesome. She's great. Recommend her to anybody that wants to make video for anything. Also, or just public speaking is also, she's really useful for that. Robert Benjamin, specifically for TikTok. He worked for Gary Vee, I believe. He has a YouTube channel. One of my clients just sponsored me to take his class. I had not taken his class, but I have watched his videos on YouTube intensely for a long time. And I learned a lot from him as well. Whenever I would hit a TikTok slump, I would go to his YouTube channel. Yeah, TikTok slump. I would go to his YouTube channel, and I found it very helpful in getting kind of a recharge and kind of getting back on the road. And it's kind of because he follows the trends on TikTok. he knows that he follows the algorithm. He follows all the techie stuff, like the algorithm. And when the algorithm changes, he makes videos on that. So he gives a lot of content for free on his YouTube channel. Of course, he's also trying to sell his course, but that's another person to go to. If you want to do this, it's something you really want to do and build an audience. Robert Benjamin's another good source to go to, along with, as I mentioned, Virginia Kerr and Trevor Bell. He has a course. Now his is subscription based, but you can take the go through all the modules in about a month. And if you go through them really fast, kind of go through, watch them every day. You could pay a little extra to get actually Zoom one-on-one meetings with him and some of the other people that are in his class, or you can just take the class and just do the modules, and then you could cancel it. They cancel when you're wanting to cancel. They'll cancel it for you. They're real responsive.
So Stephen, I'm gonna just jump in here. We've got a
Yeah.
question from Tiara, and we are
Yeah.
at 4:15.
Okay, yeah, and we're ready for questions, so we'll dive in to questions now. Are they going to come on, or they?
Yeah. So if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for that. So my name is Tiara Chapman. I work
Hi, how you
for the
doing?
city of Louisville. And one thing we're interested in doing is expanding our social media presence.
Mhm.
And I like TikTok because of the versatility and getting out really good content. And it's an interpretive tool for our park. And I wanted to ask a question about something you mentioned earlier about just go ahead, go in there, poke around, try it and see. So is it possible for me to go, like you said, save it to a folder? Are there folders in the app where I can save videos I'm not ready to publish yet? Like, is there like a
Yeah.
draft option, or do I gotta go to Adobe Pro to kind of draft stuff out?
You could certainly, when you start getting into the app and kind of seeing what editing features are available inside the app, if there's some things you want to do that are not in the app that you would have to go outside the app to create, then I'd say, yeah, create your content outside the app to get that. A lot of people use Adobe because they want to do some high-end special effects that are not available inside the app. So a good example of a creator that does high-end special effects was Trevor Bell that I mentioned earlier. Also, a lot of celebrities got into TikTok, including people like Jack Black, who has a content creator like myself that helps him produce his videos. And he has a lot of you could tell there's a lot of Adobe effects that are used in there. But if you want to use just stuff that's in the app, there's a draft folder within TikTok that you can save your work in progress in the drafts within your TikTok app. So that's very doable. In fact, I'll show you. I think I can show you. If you look, how well can y'all see this? My screen on my phone.
I can't see it. It's
let me lower. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. So now, it's right at the top, thumbnail at the top. Actually, right here is your drafts. You'll click that, and it'll take you to a slew of your drafts that are in your saved area. So
Great. Thank you. Tiara said thanks.
So yeah, that's possible. I think I've been looking. I thought I had my external camera on. I think I've been on webcam the whole Zoom. So I've been looking over here instead of the computer. I did switch it over. Oh well.
It's all a work in progress, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So now I'm with you all here. I'm with you all. I've been looking over there. Probably thought I had somebody in the room with me. I was talking to across the way. Yeah, so absolutely. Another question we had in the previous questions that were asked was, I had those on my phone here. We talked about the can you get your ideas in a 60-second question from Cassandra. How do you work with a mobile only platform in a library setting? When there's issues, maybe issues with privacy, possibly. That's a tricky one there, because I'm a little bit unsure if they mean because using the library's Wi-Fi. Erica, what do you think specifically? Are they talking about using the library's Wi-Fi, or do you think it's because of just it being in a public place?
So I'm not 100% sure on that one from Cassandra either, but I would always say, just period, the question is, you've got to talk with the IT folks through your city or whatever your branch system is to determine that. I'm with Round Rock Public Library. We do have a TikTok, and it has not been an issue. We do have certain settings we have to follow, but that's going to be probably different for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you could run into that's a situation if you were making your TikTok videos in a mall or shopping center. I don't. If you're doing food reviews and you're at a restaurant and you're filming at a restaurant, so you can not be connected to the Wi-Fi. You can use TikTok just on a 3G. So if you're out filming food reviews at a restaurant and you want to film yourself sitting at the table at the restaurant, you can record in TikTok just on your 3G without being connected to the Wi-Fi, as long as you have a good mobile connection where you're at. And again, you can produce videos outside of the app, edit, and then put them, and export them into the app as well. So hopefully that helps a little bit with the question. The other one was the first one, I think. Not necessarily a question, but I am particularly interested in what type of content seems to be the most engaging and are useful for our patrons and others. And I think that was to library specific, that in regards to that question. And then I think we covered, by showing some of the videos, and with any topic that you might be interested in doing TikTok content for, whatever the topic may be, it's all around you. The answer to that question is all around you. In a library, one of my favorite things about bookstores and libraries is I always loved the people that work there that have recommendation section. They would usually have their own section, and these are the bookstore employees, and this is their picks of the month. I always love that. So for me, that is a great source of TikTok content, is to do the books of the month within TikTok videos, and finding a creative way to present that in the TikToks. And then you saw other people giving examples of what they did for library content, and how they were able to make that into a effective storytelling in their TikTok video with some of the videos we showed.
And Tiara, I think you've got some more questions.
Oh yeah, most of I'm just question about privacy. I know specifically for Facebook and Instagram, for me to administer my city's account, I have to use my own. And like I do side work where I work with some a little agency doing their social media and accessing their business page, my personal page. And so is there a way to make fake accounts so that I don't get confused and switch back and forth between the two? Like there is an Instagram and Facebook?
I want to make sure I understood all that because there was a little bit of a cutout. Erica, did you catch?
Yeah, I think so. And Tiara, I think I get what you're saying. Yes, unfortunately, I do think you're going to have to check with the higher ups on that one, because I'll tell you for ours, we are okay with managing it all from our personal accounts feeding into our business account, that we didn't necessarily have to set up other kind of dummy accounts to keep it private, but that's just us.
Okay, yeah, it's probably different. I mean, could be different from city to city. So yeah, it would definitely be something to check with the people there in that community.
Got you, most definitely. Like I'm getting away with it right now on Facebook because they just haven't checked and started deleting the fake accounts. And so
yeah.
But yeah, I understand. Thank you. And I got more questions if you got time.
Yeah, I have actually a question for you. I want to clarify something. Are you running, am I correct in understanding that you're running multiple social media accounts for your public library, or am I misunderstanding that?
Misunderstanding. I work for a parks and recreation agency.
Oh, okay.
And I also work part-time for a marketing company out of Charlotte. And so my personal account, I toggle between 4 client accounts,
okay,
and then also the accounts that run for our Parks and Recreation Department with the city of Louisville too.
Okay, so something that could help.
I feel like I do the same thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that could help is you could run there's third-party platforms. I think Sendable is one I use in Clincher for my agency. So within Clincher, it also has a mobile version. You download the mobile, and then you can use the desktop version. You can install all these social media accounts that you post content for, and on a dashboard, all in one place, and they stay active in that dashboard as long as you keep up with it as far as the password and everything. and you're able to go in, and there's a level of security that's implemented in using the dashboard. But there you can go and automate posts, like schedule them throughout the like you could go on there one day on a Monday, set up all your posts for the upcoming week, and then it will automate the post accordingly as you schedule them, day and times that you schedule them. So I don't know if that could help, but that's just a kind of a little tip for you as well. And I know she had some more questions too.
I do have more questions. I just don't want to bogart all of your time. Is it okay if I go
No.
forward?
I think
Okay,
so,
cool.
Erica.
Yes, please. Yeah, we've got about 5 more minutes, so please feel free.
Okay. So another question, I'm gonna try to make this really, really specific for your expertise, because I know working for the government makes it a little bit more fuzzy. What does interacting with TikTok's Creator Fund look like?
I've had trouble with it. I'll be honest with you. I finally held out applying for it for a while because there was mixed reviews on it. But then finally I decided to go ahead and go for it based on Robert Benjamin had given creators the go ahead, said, go ahead and do it. If you're eligible, go ahead and do it. So I applied. I even filled out a tax form that was part of the process. And then it just sort of, I wasn't told that I was in or out. I just didn't hear anything. And then one day I got a notification on my phone that I was eligible for new features that are only given to creators of a certain amount of audience. But again, it had very vague information about how the Creators Fund was, if I was eligible, or I know I'm eligible to apply for it, but I never heard anything. Like I filled out the text form, so I thought maybe that I had got in, but then didn't hear anything at all. And I had to fill out all this stuff. So for me, it was a little clunky, and I've gotten nothing from it because I filled out all this information and then I never heard anything. And I know other creators that have actually done it and have given it mixed reviews. But I say you have nothing to lose for trying it. So if you're eligible, if you have enough followers, I don't think that, trying it out and see if you have better luck with it than I did. But I do have some new features on my account. One is that I supposedly could do live events and get accumulate like points that would turn to money. So there's some things like that.
And Stephen, before we officially sign off, can you please give everybody, let everybody know how to reach you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody has any questions that they think of afterwards, they want to follow up, you can always email me at goldenlemurmedia@gmail.com is my email address. We'll get back to you at goldenlemurmedia@gmail.com. You can follow me on TikTok at Thunderpop TV. It's Thunderpop TV. That's my account. It's nerdy pop culture, news, and ridiculousness. I'm also on Instagram at Thunderpop TV as well. So those are the two accounts that I'm on the most, are Instagram and TikTok. I do have the YouTube and stuff, but those are the ones I put the most effort in as far as content and the most time on. So yeah, so those places you can find me.
Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for your time and talking us through this. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you. We did
Thank
have
you.
one question that I forgot to
Yeah.
bring up, which was getting teens to follow the content. Well, I think from what you've said, teens are on TikTok, so you're already kind of got the built-in audience. So as you had the advice that you had given us before, look at other creators. What kind of content are they attracted to? Ask
Yeah.
the teens in your library, what kind of stuff do they think would be fun? And then just sort of take a chance and try some different things.
Yeah, absolutely. There is in each app, I was told each app had its own generation. Like Facebook was I guess was one generation, and then Instagram was like the next was millennials, and now TikTok is like the next generation after millennials. So there's been that sort of where a generation grows up with their favorite social media app and kind of goes on and becomes an adult in that social media app. So a lot of the TikTok that's very young is going to age up over the next, 5 years, 10 years. And there'll be, the people that are having kids and getting married. Now, there are a lot of different people on TikTok. There's mom talk. There's all kinds of demographics now on TikTok. It has expanded quite a bit too.
Well, great. Well, thank you again to everyone who was able to join us. And then, of course, everyone who will see the video afterwards. We would love to hear your feedback. And thank you again to our friend, Stephen. We so appreciate this from the Round Rock Public Library.
Don't forget to have fun out there.
Yes, that's the best advice. I love it. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and end our meeting and get the recording started. Thank you, everybody.